Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill that is the Kauffie Company, here live, of course, on the Kauffie Company and Tottenham on Tour, the world-famous home of Levy Out. It's Monday. It's our promised stream that we were going to do on Monday and Friday. I'm here with Mr. Daigle like I always am, and we're going to have a good chat and a good laugh like we always do. But Aki, how are you doing today?
I'm good, mate. I've got to say, first of all, this isn't just the world-famous home of Levy Out anymore. I have said once this is done, I'm going to need to check myself into rehab because I am officially a Frankaholic. So
right.
this will be not only the world-famous home of Levy Out, this will be your Frankaholic rehab place to come where all Frankaholics can be together.
We're starting a cult.
Oh, we are. I am so excited for Thomas Frank. I've mentioned him for a long time. I've rated him extremely highly, and I just cannot wait for this to be made official. As well as, and I've got to update it there. I can tell you now, we're only at Monday, and come this Friday's update on Buzzword Bingo. When we get to Buzzword Bingo round up on Friday, I can tell you there are some crackers already, and we are only at Monday.
It's brilliant stuff already. It's really annoying, Aki, because we went live on Friday and we had the waiting room special. I got to the Midlands about 5 o'clock, and a moment I almost there in Corby, and I got the news about the parting of ways. I'm not calling it a sacking because I don't think it is a sacking. I think it's a parting of ways rather than. I think it's a parting of ways, and it was a really bittersweet day because it's never good to hear of your manager getting sacked. I know people are absolutely disagreeing with this, and people were happy and people were sad, and whatever your opinion was, you're always welcome here. It was certainly a bittersweet moment, but we're here. This is our full calming reaction, and hopefully we will see what's happening. But before you address
that as well, the thing we want to do as well now is obviously, like you said, whether you like Ange, loved Ange, hated Ange, despised, or whatever term you want to use with Ange, whether you think it was right to sack him, the manner was right, whatever it is, whatever you felt, and all the toxicity that was going around, it's done now. That is over. Whether we liked it or not, whether you wanted it or not, Ange is gone. Hopefully this fan base can get us back to some kind of normality, as in respectfully with each other. There's always going to be debate. There's always going to be issues and problems. But let's that ship has sailed now, and it's now looking like Thomas Frank's Blue and White Army, and everyone says I always back the manager. I said that and fell off the wagon, so can't really speak. But you know what I mean, there's so let's just now unite.
Yeah,
and we've got a new board.
We'll talk about this when we say hello to everyone.
Gone.
But it's the right man, I think, to steady the ship. But let's see who's in the chat to take us through the show. We've got 30 of you in here so far. Thank you to everyone that's watching us over the other load of really good creators that are live at this moment in time. Thank you for choosing the Kauffie Company and Tottenham on Tour. We have Nias in the house. Good to see you, Nias. And hey, Benny, I'll be lurking here. So I'm currently sat up hospital waiting for an x-ray. Hopefully you're feeling all right, Nia. Hopefully you're doing okay. Good to see you in the house. Drew Lala is in the house.
Hello,
YouTube member and, of course, European champion. Good to see you, Miss. Hopefully you're well. We have a Nearban is in the house. We're going to actually start both these comments because it's quite good on Thomas Frank, really. We have Curly Normans in the house, European champion. Daniel 90, European champion. Ryan McFarlane, European champion. Kudos, European champion. We Are Spurs TV, European champion. We have Stu Boy, YouTube member, European champion. SH Spurs, European champion. We will have to see. We have Rob Welsh Spur, European champion. Good to see you, buddy. Gary Paul Speed. Good to see you. Champions of Europe. Ole, ole. Good to see you, Gary. Angus McDowell, runners up as always. Good to see you. Well, hopefully, well, Angie boy. We have Tweaky, YouTube member, European champion. Ian Ferguson, YouTube member, European champion. Josh O'Hilditch.
Oh, big up, Josh. I need to speak to him. He's going to be making an appearance on the show.
Get behind Thomas Frank, indeed. Liam Harty's in the house. Good to see you. European champion. We have Davo, European. Nope. Conference League champion. Oh,
no. Do you know what? No, you can call him that. Because European champions. European champion, man. European champion.
European champion. We've got Peter's in the house. Peter Padimitroi. I've not seen this name before.
We can discuss that, Peter. We can discuss that.
Good to see you, Peter. Sorry. Hopefully you're well. Sorry. European champion. Scott M, European champion. Good to see you, buddy.
Scott. I'll tell you what, I spoke to Scott yesterday. He's fully on board. He's going to be chill. He is fully on board. You're going to see a different Scott M honestly, we'll get into it, but speaking with Scott M yesterday, Scott is fully on board.
He's on board the Frank engine.
He is totally on board.
One of the things I really wanted to do, there's a meme on Vine that's on, what's it called? On Harry Potter and Ron Weasley in the Ford Anglia, and then it comes up Thomas the Tank Engine's behind them. I wanted to do that with Thomas Frank, but I couldn't find it, unfortunately. I'll have to see if I can do it. I can see if I can do it. The deal is done. All that's missing with Zubi Dooby, can't you see, is a medical. Zubi Mendy's a very good player. That's a very good signing for them.
Oh, someone very special is coming.
We have Franz in the house, European champion.
Lady to me. Love that lady.
That meme is a classic. It is. I want to get that video and put Thomas Frank's face in it. It's very, very funny. Scott got a new lease of life when it comes to Tottenham now. Everyone does. Let's talk about Thomas Frank, because apparently the deal is very close to being finalised and I think it will be announced today around 6 o'clock.
How ironic would it be if he gets the same time that Ange got sacked? They'll just go and do it. I will say, from what I'm hearing and what I've been told, Frank had agreed to everything yesterday. Everything was done on Thomas Frank's side. It's now his coaches and staff that he is bringing, and hopefully it is a vast majority, if not all of them. That would just be that would just make me laugh. But I think
I don't think it's happening. They've agreed that since January. I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I don't think so. It would be hysterical, but I don't think it's happening. But back to Frank. And then after the deal has been done with his staff, then comes the great bit where the Brentford chairman has to speak to our chairman. And then it comes to the release fee or compensation, whatever you want to call it. I just, honestly, the only thing I really want to talk about with Levy on this, this will be it, unless we talk about transfers, obviously, is if we've got to sack Ange and then Frank is the overwhelming number one candidate, and then we can't agree the release fee.
That would be hilarious.
All I would say is watch me. Watch me. And not just me, but thousands of Spurs fans go nuts. But we start 2 comments, didn't we? I did,
but we got to say hello. We've got to say hello to Kuba.
I want to see about it. There, I want to start Peters as well.
There was an echo there. I heard myself. I like that. That was really good. Big up my fellow European champions, and hello to the second place bottle job specialists too. Good to see you, buddy.
I will say, before we go through the 3 questions, we've got 2 from Arabad and then 1 from Peter. Anyone has any questions or things they want to talk about Thomas Frank, do what we normally do. Just put Q- or TOT- so we can see them and star them. And we'll go through them, because this is going to be, obviously, I would imagine, very, very heavily Frank-centric. I'm just rolling these buzzwords off myself. But yeah, so where's the first Crossamano, big up. I hope
Crossamano's in the house.
is
Double winner.
I need
winner, European champion.
I need Crossamano to be on board, Thomas. I'm sure he will be. I'm sure he will be. And do you know what? I saw Marios. I can't remember. I think he was on Savage. I've started trying to watch a bit more Spurs YouTube since the Frank, and I'm sure I saw Marios on Savage. And I think I did, and we have to get him on here at one point. I think we'll start bringing fan shows back. There's a lot going on, and I will say, and I've got to talk with you after the show, Ben. There is going to be a show that Tottenham on Tour will be doing with myself and Eugene, who's in America in San Diego. He's not a Frankaholic yet. He's far from a Frankaholic. He's still upset about Ange, like a lot of people are, which I understand. But we're going to have a bi-weekly or monthly show where we're going to review Thomas Frank and get guests on from this side of the pod if they're up, or back home. So keep an eye on a new show that we'll be doing monthly, like at the very beginning of every month. We might even do a premiere or a release the day he's appointed. So keep an eye out for that. But it's going to be very North American time centric. Maybe like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, my time, 11 back home, whatever. It could be a little bit later. But I saw another one from Connor. I see Curly. Do you see Connor's one? Let me just start Connor's as well. Right, let's go through the ones we've got, Ben.
And we've got Ghosted in here.
Ghosted, well. He's a top guy. Ghosted.
Let's see. We've got. It's not really a question. It's just saying. Anirban's a really good appointment, in my opinion. Versatile and flexible with his tactics, great personality, and one-directional. Now hijacked in Burmo too to get things running. It took us 4 years to beat them again in the league, which Maresca Ball did it. We were still not comfortable with it till the final whistle to seal off the points. Always frightened of him and Brentford. Let's discuss it. I like Thomas Frank as a manager. I think he is a very, very shrewd operator. I think he's a man who's done it over 7 years at a football club. He's got a big enough sample size to say he's rejected loads of jobs before everyone says, oh, he's never had a big job before. He's never won anything. Well, it's not the first club that's come in for him. Man United came in for him and he rejected it. He has rejected some big clubs because I heard from his former assistant that the club they always wanted to join was Tottenham. This is a job they've always wanted to do because of the profile of the job. I think they could see that Spurs would give them time and they would give them tactically good youngsters. I think Thomas Frank and Tottenham seems like a really good starting block. Whether it starts off that way, we'll have to see. But he has rejected big clubs before, and this is the first time he said, this is now the time for me to make the step up, because as a football club, we are a step up from Brentford. Let's not, although we are, was it seven places behind them on the league, wherever Brentford finished last year. I think this is a really, really smart appointment from the club, and I think it's a really good fit. And I don't have to say much, Aki, because you're one of the Thomas Frank Frankaholics, as you like to say. This is tactically flexible. We got loads of really good youngsters, and I would like to go into it in about 15-20 minutes. I want to talk about the young players that we've got at the club that Thomas Frank could manage. I would love to see Thomas Frank manage Jamie Donnelly. I would love to see Thomas Frank manage Mikey Moore, Archie Gray, Vuskovic. Vuskovic is coming in. Alfie Devine. Yes, I've got to say it. Phillips, Dorrington. We've got some very talented young players that are going to come in, and unlike a lot of the people said that Ange would work with the young players, he never did. Ange never worked with the young players when he was here. He only played them when he physically had to through injuries. Thomas Frank loves young players, like players like Rico Henry, like Damsgaard. He brought players like Ollie Watkins and Esri Konsa, and Ivan Toney was an unknown player when he brought him into the club. this is a manager that likes working with talented prospects and he makes them better. I can't wait to see Frank with a Bergvall. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how he's going to do it. A few experienced players as well. But I'm really excited for this. What do you think about this before we go to the next starred comment?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm interested, also looking forward to doing Peter's comment. And before you do that, just thank Tweaky for giving the Coffee Company 5 members before we do that.
Absolutely. 5 memberships from Tweaky. If you have been given a membership from Tweaky, please say thank you to the big man, an absolutely lovely gentleman. Go and say thank you to him. I can't see because I haven't got the Coffee Company stream up on my thing. What do you think? What do you think?
So people know, I mean, first of all, little Matty K is in here. Who has been chucked out the Frankaholics for Alfie Divine Blasphemy. I see it, Matty. I see it. I will say, Ben, you and I were there, actually. You went to the game. I went and watched it in the Coach and Horses. The last protest of the Conte season getting sacked, where Crackers came, where we had our biggest, and a load of us went to watch it in the Coach and Horses after, was, ironically, a defeat to Brentford. And people remember it was the one where they said Harry Kane scored a free kick. It wasn't a free kick. It got rolled to him and he took the shot. It was a free kick play, but he didn't score a free kick. Anyway, that's beside the point. We were cruising in that game. Brentford came out like a team possessed and destroyed us in that second half. And ever since then, ever since that very moment, I have wanted Thomas Frank as manager. I even remember that was the first time ever that any the protest before the game were at the Coach and Horses and said, "Yo, this is so bad. Let's take the placards and everything out and start outside." Big up Leo. Leo did a really passionate video. Leo did an incredibly passionate. It's an incredible video on Ange leaving, and he's gone full blown Levy out as well now. It's a very good video. But getting back to Frank, we went back out to protest, and I saw who's actually been very, very open with the Frank situation coming to us, Natalie Sawyer, the ex-Sky Sports News and now TalkSport presenter. And I was speaking to her, I said, listen, I love Frank. I would love, and before I went to say, take him, she's like, don't you dare take him. Don't you say a word. She's like, he's God. Do not. I've always kept a very close eye on him since then. I have, even when I was on Last Word on Spurs, January, February, they're like, who do you want as next manager? Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank. I think he is so wildly underrated. There's a lot being said about, well, what's and won the Europa League, what's Frank won, which is absolutely spot on true, but there's a big difference. When we went into the Europa League, Tottenham Hotspur were favourites. Doesn't mean you have an outright to win it, but the whole tournament, even how bad our league form, we were favourites. If someone can tell me somewhere in the world when someone said, who's your favourite for the Premier League, the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, if you find me one fan that said Brentford, I'd be absolutely amazed because it's not possible. Not even a Brentford fan would say it. And then I got you, Ben, to put up on our community section, which is on Tottenham on Tour's community posts right now, about 6 or 7 links about how good Frank is and what he will deliver. He will improve the players that we've got there. He does change to his opponents. He is flexible. He does. He is so wildly underrated. And obviously, you've seen with that front line, he is another. We've lost big players before. We've lost big players, and we've lost them for big, big, big money. And whether we've reinvested properly or not, that's completely. It's me. You could try that. It's all good.
What a silly comment.
You know what? This is it is silly. People put this. It is silly. This is what people do and find as fun, and they don't really listen to anything people say. So getting back to the show and people that are actually involved in it, he will bring it. He has had to lose big players every single season. big players, and they bring players in immediately, and he develops. I think I cannot wait for him to turn people round, because I think he is exactly what Tottenham Hotspur need. Exactly. He's going to come in. The one thing I will say, well done to Tottenham and Ange during him coming in, is when he comes in, yes, we have players we need to get rid of, as all teams do. But compared to when Ange walked in and there was so much crap to get rid of, thankfully that kind of aspect has been done, which has been done well by Tottenham. Whether you want to say the money, whatever, but he is coming in now at a very good time. When exactly... oh, sorry, it's me. Sorry, I didn't know you were praising me. I apologise. I read that, and I think Ben read that wrong. I do apologise. Listen, I did change to Frank, but I changed... Frank. And because I wanted trophies. You never
know.
If he had stayed, I'll go to Peter, then come back to you. I don't know where people are getting this Frank is a yes man. This is the bit. I'm fine with Peter having this view, but I don't see where he's getting this yes man from. Because if you go back again, I think Brentford, I will say, Brentford are a much better run club than Tottenham Hotspur. And when I say that, I don't mean the financial bits they're picking in. The team, that owner and his desire for Brentford, the community, the young fans, everything is just an incredibly beautiful club. I have a real support for Brentford and what they stand for, what they represent. They have done incredible work.
They've done an amazing job. They've built a new stadium. They've built a new stadium. They've kept Brentford in the Premier League for 5 years now. That's a long time for a little club like Brentford.
Yep. I will say this.
In the books, losing all their best players and selling them for loads of money. But look at Southampton, Brian. Southampton lost all their players to Liverpool and Spurs. They lost all their players. They went down immediately. Yep. And now they've become a yo-yo club. Brentford have been losing their best players for a long time, and they've steadied that ship.
The other thing I'll say, I mean, like I said, I get people say, well, what Brentford? I mean, I had a lot of people yesterday message me or interact with me on Twitter and going, oh, is this your guy that lost 1-0 to Plymouth? He must be shit. My simple response was, well, Liverpool lost 1-0 to Plymouth. Is Arnie Slot shit, the Premier League champion? I think, and I'm not saying this specifically about people, I'm talking about, I think a lot of anger is being put on Frank because they love Ange, which is fine, but if the anger's being directed the wrong place, it needs to be above. If you're Thomas Frank, I don't understand the yes man. If you go watch the videos, and I'm not forcing anyone to do it, but they're all up on our community posts, and I always liken it to, when you watch The Voice, I keep saying this, where they judge the singers based on their singing talent, not their look or not. Because if you take everything out of it and forget he's Brentford manager, and you just listen to what this man has to say football-wise, he's not a yes man. I can tell you that. He will change it. And I understand. I can see that anger or frustration or people going, it's underwhelming. I don't think... If we're serious with each other, I don't think these big players are coming to managers will come to Tottenham, whether it be finances that we won't pay now, whether it be they don't believe the vision because they know what Daniel Levy's like, whether they have been spoken to and they don't get the budget that they think they need. Thomas Frank will be here next year, and it'll be all aboard Thomas Frank. I think we've got our guy that will stay with us, hopefully longer than Poch. And if new owners come in, we've gone on so many times about these players that we sign and the Googling from Danny Rose. Spurs Google Danny Rose. Well, if Thomas Frank's at the helm and his scouting team are at the network, he can sign as many I'll have to Google Danny Roses as you want, because no one knew Mbuemo, no one knew Wissa. No one knew Konza. No one knew Watkins. No one knew
Tony.
No, mate, people knew Flecken, but he got Flecken. I mean, Brett, you go and see. This is the other thing. Now, I don't know if this is the way Brentford move or Thomas Frank, but also it's hard to say. Oh, and Raya, well done, Angus.
Raya.
So you look at it, the way Brentford run, and again, I don't know if this is Frank and had anything to do with it because he's outgoing. The way Brentford address transfers is they've just lost Flecken, another great goalkeeper that they found after Raya first attempt. What they do first thing? Little old Brentford that can't do much. The first thing they do is they go to the Premier League champions and get their
another quality signing.
They get their number 2 out, who was very, very important and crucial this season when Alisson was out, and they've gone and got themselves a goalkeeper that I think gets into most number 1s in the Premier League. He's that good. So Brentford do things incredibly well. I understand what Peter's saying. Listen. We all have our reservations about managers and everything, but the whole thing on Peter's thing,
isn't it?
The whole thing I don't get. There's 2 things I'm not understanding. Not from Peter's the yes man part, but the other thing I'm not getting is he's never had to deal with big money. He hasn't got big players. It's like, well, he hasn't got the budget to. If he could develop players that were nothing into some big players that Manchester United want, Arsenal want, we've been linked with, never in a million fucking years.
Swifty.
If he could do that with talent no one knows about, just think what he could do with talent that have got the attributes. So the yes man part, I'm just not understanding from Peter, but I do understand people's reservations. But honestly, maybe you wait till it's all confirmed. Go do research or look into Thomas Frank podcast interviews and segments on Sky, and then see if your mind changes, because he's going to be very, very good.
Let's see what Liam Hart is saying. And Mbeumo coming in. Do you think? I don't think Mbeumo's coming in. I think he wants to go to Manchester United because they want to literally quintuple his salary. It's not even double. It's not even triple. It's not they want to quintuple his wages. They're going to give him 250 grand a week when the man was on 50. I don't think that's happening, everyone. As much as I would absolutely love to have Mbeumo, I think Mbeumo's quality. I think he's absolutely quality.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put...
I don't think it's happening. What do you reckon, Aki? Do you reckon Mbeumo's going to be signed? Or do you reckon it's going to be... We have seen, there's a lot of rumours that the player that Thomas Frank has okayed when he signs his contract is one Eberechi Eze. And I will be delighted if we bring those 2 in.
Yeah. Well, what I will say with Mbeumo is... the way it stands at the moment, apparently there's rumours saying he wants 230 or 250. Apparently it's 200. Yeah. So that brings that down. I believe we're offering 140. Then you've got the choice. From what we're hearing, he's a Manchester United fan at heart. But obviously he's not a UK Manchester born, so it's not like like us to Tottenham. Do you go, if you have the choice, do you go for, let's just say it is 200. Let's just say it is 200. Do you go 200? Good morning, Flower Brother. Do you go 200 grand and go to United with no European football? They are literally falling on their arse. And yes, you're going to be, and with Cunha, you could be part there. Or do you go with his manager that made him, that knows exactly how to get the best out of him, that will have Champions League football, that with all this shake up at the board, that you can't decide. But do you think 140 to 200? Yes, there's a 60 grand difference, which is massive, but he's not gonna when he retires go, do you know what? I don't think Mbeumo to United is set in stone. I think it's more than likely, but I think put it this way: if Spurs can get this wrapped up today, if Spurs, big up Robin, if Spurs can get this wrapped up today, I would say there's a chance. Yeah. A slim chance. If it drags on for the next couple of days, then I reckon it will be too late to get anything done.
I think you're right as well. Eze, however, is one I think we will go for. I think Eze is a very realistic target for us this season. Of course, we're going to have to pay a release fee of £68 million But for a young English homegrown player, I think that's absolutely worth every single penny, as well as Spurs need homegrown players for the Champions League next season. Let's say hello to Mr. Barbaric Disdain. Good to see you. He's a YouTube member. Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully you're well. European champion as well. Jason Bell's in the house as well. Bodo manager is very, very good. I think that would be a very good appointment for them. Yes, I think so as well. Let's see the next comment. It is from Curly. Good to see you. Do you believe this chairman will actually back this? Well, did he back the last manager? He spent 400 million on him, and he got the players he wanted. In terms, I think he did back Ange. Not as much as he probably should have backed him, but he wanted Brennan Johnson paid over the odds. He wanted Van der Ven. He got him. He wanted Maddison. He got him. The majority of the players that Ange asked for, he got. He got those players. Yes, he probably could have got some better players. I think it depends. I think we will get more players now that there is a Mr. Fabio Paratici on the board, and now there's a Mr. Vinay Venkatesham on the board. I think there will be more people on that board willing to sign players the manager is going to get. But it's a thing. What do you think, Aki?
I think with this, I agree. Listen, as much as I hate Levy with a passion, no manager, he got more money than Conte and Mourinho combined.
Yep, in 2 years.
There's no doubt that we were spending the money. It was just quantity rather quality. And we say that he wanted this, and this. I'm pretty sure there were players higher up on his list that he may have wanted. We flat out, I mean, this is just me. And then we ended up with option B or C or whatever. That you can't listen. You can also say, is he back the way he wanted Solanke, and I'm still a fan of Solanke. I think Solanke will do a lot better under Frank. And I'll tell you one person, Brennan Johnson is going to have he
was going to sign Brennan Johnson. He was going to sign Brennan Johnson.
He will play Brennan Johnson in a different position. He won't be out wide. And you'll see a different Brennan Johnson. Not saying that he will be, not saying that he's going to be a world beat or anything, but I think with this manager, the main thing is with this. Don't tempt me. Don't mention anything to Alana.
Don't mention it.
Although I did kind of commit to. I said maybe when Levy goes, I might get the date that he leaves as a just a date to commemorate the day he finally leaves Tottenham. But getting back to the transfers, I think we always say this is a big summer, don't we? We always say, this is a summer, Spurs go big or whatever. With the new people on the board, I am hoping and praying that they will signify a different approach to transfers, whether it be paying higher wages, whether it be buying quality over quantity. Because right now, like we said, we've got a young crop coming through. We'll get to the youngsters after these questions, Ben. We'll do it. I just think this summer we'll see if there is change of foot. Remember, there is still massive talk about that man leaving the football club. There is massive talk about it, and every time we've had false dawns and we started to think maybe the dominoes are falling. Colacott, obviously Cullen. So I think I hope there's gonna be something different. So yeah, we'll see. But wait, it's Connors first, then Collins. I'm not having the appointment with Thomas Frank. Why? No matter how many he comes, 18 months. Listen, Connor, this is obviously a major issue. I have been saying on Twitter, and it's a tagline I'm going to use quite a lot, is Thomas Frank won't fail Tottenham. Tottenham/Levy will fail Thomas Frank, like they have done. You could just put a different manager name in there every single time. I understand that. I do. You can't get away with how we treat managers and what's happened. But I don't. I honestly, I think Frank's here for a minimum of 4 seasons. Minimum. honestly,
I'm not sure 4 seasons, but I hope so.
Mate, I honestly, I think Levy. By the way, within 4 seasons, I think Levy's done, without a doubt. I'd like to say within this season, but I can listen. This is the one that I can totally get. This is the one. As much as I love it, as much as I love Frank, and I will back him morning, noon, and night. It's always, if he's in charge, you're toast. So hopefully this new board will be like, no, ain't happening. But Connor, I completely understand where you're coming from. Completely.
Let's rattle through these quickly, Aki, because we're not questions and art. But do you think he already has a plan on how to use them? Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Everyone's saying, you started a load of comments, Aki.
I did. Let's have some fun with people. I will say with Archie Gray very quickly, I thought he may have gone out on loan to Leeds or somewhere for the summer or for the season to get regular Premier League football. Depending on what Frank has planned, because obviously we know Frank wanted him, but that was at a Brentford team.
He didn't just want him, Aki. He did a 2.5-hour presentation on how he wanted to develop him as a footballer. He desperately wanted him.
So I know. But right now, with what's going on and trying to get top, does he? Listen, if Archie Gray stays, I'm delighted he'll develop him. But he may want first team football regular, and he may say we'll send you out on loan for 6 months or a season. But I think Archie, I think Brennan, I think one of the biggest players that are going to have the biggest benefit from Frank is going to be big up Terry, brother. Big up is going to be Brennan Johnson. I honestly think you see a big up Matt. He's coming on Tottenham on tour very, very soon, making his debut. I think that Frank will do well with our youngsters. But yeah, go on, let's go through these and we'll do your youth.
Let's talk about the youth players. We're going to pick one because we don't have much time. We've only got 20 minutes left of the show because we only do go.
I can carry on for a bit.
We can go on for as long as we want, Aki, but it'd be nice to have. Which youth player do you think, and we'll speak about them, do you think will go and do the most under a Thomas Frank style management? Who do you think?
My biasness is coming right through. Right through. This is the man for Alfie Devine. This is the man for Alfie Devine. Do I think he needs a loan? Maybe another championship loan. Maybe go to West Brom or Birmingham, who have got Davies and Mason respectively, who know him. But I'm talking about players that haven't broke out into the first team yet. We've got youngsters like Moore and such. Like I think Alfie Devine, and this is my obviously this is my hope and dream. And I would say Bergvall, Lee, like you, but I want to try and think of players that haven't broken into the first team yet that have been used up and down. I want to try and think about I think Bergvall will come on leaps and bounds. Yeah. If I think about youngsters that are on the peripheries and busting to break through to the first team, I'm sticking to my boy and I'm saying Alfie. Big up, Cole.
Oh, it's an interesting one. So many good young players in that team that I think he can really. Pape Sarr, I think, will have a new renaissance under Thomas Frank if he's coached properly on where to be and positional awareness. His engine, if he is coached properly, will be absolutely amazing. But I think the player that I'm going to look on, I want to see Thomas Frank with Jamie Donnelly.
I knew you were going to say that.
I think he can make Jack. This isn't because he's Sean Slater's mate, because I love Sean Slater. I think Jamie Donnelly is a very, very good young player. And we can be biased because I think it's funny. And anyone that doesn't like it, sod you lot. I think Jamie Donnelly will be a very, very, very good one to look out for. With Thomas Frank at the helm, he will give him a position because Jamie's sort of been playing sort of that midfield striker. He's moving about. Mikey Moore's another one.
Yep.
If he gets into Mikey Moore, and he could really make him a quality prospect. But I think one to look out for me, I think he will play Jamie Donnelly. And I really look forward to see what he can do with him.
I have to say, Cole's just brought up that. I won't get that, but what I will do, and I've said it all along, the second Levy's gone, the very second, and my boycott of everything, of the club shop, everything, the very first thing I do is buy one of the Spurs shirts from the Spurs shop with Alfie Devine's name and number on the back. At the moment, it's number 47. That is the very first thing. When my boycott ends, the very first thing I buy is a Spurs kit with Devine's name and number on the back, without fail. Without fail. I've waxed lyrical about it. I just hope he gets this chance at Tottenham, because if we sell him, I'll be here in 2-3 years going, told you. He's going to be a top player.
What does everyone else think? Who does everyone think is going to be? Which young player do you think could flourish? Terry Wright has got one I also agree with.
Yeah,
I think Radu Dragusin in a back three as a centre back under Thomas Frank with protection in front of him. I think he could be a monster.
Yep.
I think he could be an absolute monster if he's looked after. I'm really excited to see.
Well, you said that. Properly. You said that, and I agree with you. There's another one from Nick here, and not only Destiny.
Yep.
Pedro Porro. If people go and look at what he did with Lewis Potter, who they bought as a winger, and played him as a wing back, his progression and development under Frank has been incredible. Now, Porro, who I adore. Porro, I absolutely adore. And if we can talk about this in a second, if a couple of the players go on the leadership team, let's say Son does go off to Saudi and Romero does go to Atletico, there's a new leadership team, and Pedro Porro is the first person on that list for me. I think Pedro Porro and Destiny and Spence will come on. He needs to work more on their defensive attributes rather than they're going forward, which they're good at. He will. James Flower, I swear to God. That's it, 45, sorry, 45. I don't know why I had 47. My bad. Whatever number it is, hopefully it'll be a promoted number. Hopefully, oh, mate, if he ever got Gaza's number, that would just be heaven. 8 and Divine Gaza. That would be, there you go. That's what I'm going to protest for once Levy's gone. The Divine has the number 8 Spurs shirt. But I think the wingbacks are going to come on. But who would you guys have if, let's just say, do you want to say one of the leadership team go or two?
Yeah.
Which ones should we do, Ben? Sonny and Romero go or just one of them?
I think I've heard now that Atletico Madrid are in advanced talks to sign Clement Longley, our old friend, Brian, our old friend Clement Longley.
Romero or Clement Longap?
I think Longley going to Atletico. I think there's a possibility that Romero is staying. I think there's full possibility, and there are rumors going about. There are rumours going about that Spurs are going to offer him a contract to make him the highest paid player at the football club next season. What do you think?
Well, you see that. And what I will say, which is quite surprising actually, I've just seen Stel in here. Big up, Stel, brother. Big up, brother. What I will say with Romero is if you look at it, there's two players that haven't come out and said thank you for Ange or whatever, and that's Romero and Spence. Romero has not said a solitary word. Mathers has come out, Sonny has come out, Vicario's come out on the leadership team now. Whether that's because of this relationship he had with Ange and no, Romero, he doesn't want to be a hothead and go mad, or he's just focusing on other things yet, but he has not come out and said anything yet. But Perchy just said that Longley is done on a free.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid have gone full Levy. Do you want Clement Longap on a free? Or pay serious money for a serious defender. Maybe he stays.
Long gap, feet of cement.
It was Clement Longap. It's Clement Longap. It's good to see Stel in here, man. Big up to him. Like I said, I am. We will have to see what happens. But Romero, like we said, so who's your leadership team if he's got to restructure the leader team. I think Pedro Porro has to come in.
Yeah, I don't know. Leadership team. I think Vicario is going to be in the leadership team. I don't see Bentancur going, so I think Bentancur might be there. Romero, I think Romero will be staying now because I don't think Atletico Madrid couldn't afford him.
Big up, Gary.
Say Kulusevski. I think Kulusevski.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Also, he's out till New Year or whatever.
He can still have a voice in the changing room, though, Aki.
He could be that. I'd rather have Porro.
Madison
will definitely. Madison will definitely. Wait, again, it'll all depend. I mean, again, Frank, big up, Daniel. Frank also talks about in one of these documentaries, the high power performance ones, how much and how pivotal it is for big characters in the dressing room and roles he gives them and everything. So there could be a fair few. He could break the mold with what he does for his. Van der Ven, would you put him as up? Listen, I love this man. He's my favourite player. Is he a leader just yet?
Maybe not. We've got a good question from SH Spurs because I think this is where I was going to go anyway. Most position to strengthen in the window. And I think this is obvious, Aki.
God.
This is obvious for me. Defensive midfielder. Have to sign a defensive midfielder. Have to sign a defensive midfielder. And Kuva brought one up who I really, really like in his 3 players that he would like to buy. Sander Berg. I think Sander Berg would be a very good addition as a number 6.
That's a great. I have to say,
I like Hjulmand, but I think Hjulmand is an Arsenal boy born and bred. And even though he's a professional, he's a professional, but I think Hjulmand's a good player. I think Sander Berg would be very, very good as a sign-in for us.
I have to say, I like Kuva's shopping list. I like Kuva's train of thought. Yeah. I think the number 6 is I'm looking no further than Paulinho, no further than him. I think we need to, that's the number 6. I think what we certainly need some added depth up top, and I also think we need a left back. Because of Europe. We can't just have the 3 in Spence, Romero, Spence, Porro, and Destiny. I think we need. I mean, Wharton. Well, these are. I'd love to be able to say it. I'd love to go get a Wharton, but I don't think we're paying it. Obviously, Danny, who is now warming to Frank because his love child, Ian Mbuemo, is about to come.
Love Mbuemo, absolutely quality.
Oh, mate, he'd be stunning for us. So basically, we are Tottenham TV. Have done a few late night shows this week or over the weekend, and we've looked at it and we discussed it last night. The last few managers, their first transfer as manager of the football club, let's just say, haven't really been great. If Thomas Frank comes in and says, "Wallop, there's Mbuemo," you've got to start thinking things are changing. Obviously, then it sets the precedent for how the rest of the season or the rest of the window. Yeah. He may not have disliked him, but he's warming to him. I'm watching you, Danny. I'm watching you. I'll let you become a Frankaholic very shortly. So we shall see what happens. I don't know what Mr. Box Office is. Stop telling fan base to get on. Stop telling the fan base to get on it. It will never happen. If they are not convinced by Frank, it's fine. You back the manager. Just listen, all right. We're all Frank.
We're Mr.
Box Office coming in with a typical box office.
He's throwing the grenade in.
Big up to him. Mr. Grenade. You should call. That's what you should call yourself, Alex. Rebrand yourself as Mr. Grenade.
Yeah. Danny in the Mario.
No, because I have to say to you, that tune is copyrighted and you have to go through me. You owe me royalties. I mean, put it this way, like Johnny said, can you imagine if that was our window? Eze and Paulinho. Forget an outgoings. If we just got Eze and Paulinho, you'd be like absolutely over the moon. That would be quality over quantity. Then, like Perchy, I don't know if you're watching when we're talking about him. I think if Spurs can get this through done to announced, or it's a lot further, let's just say obviously not announced, if they know it's done and there's no turning back and he is our manager. Yeah, I know, brother. I know, Boxy. But if we can get Frank is done. Frank is done. It's now his coaching staff. And then after his coaching staff, it's Daniel going to the Bournemouth. I've got to stop saying Bournemouth. Brentford, and getting the release fee agreed. If we can get this done quickly enough, or at least further down the line, so that Spurs know it's done, Brentford know it's done, it is big. But I was having this discussion, guys in the chat, there's 128 of you. I can't remember a time where a manager moved to a club and brought one of the star players with them. And I'm not just talking Tottenham. I'm talking any Premier League club. If any of you guys can remember a manager that's gone to a club and taken one of their star people with them, as in players, I cannot think for the life of me who it would be. What's Kyriakou said now? I've always appreciated Frank. Are you becoming buzzword bingo, Daddy? You've registered your interest and monitored the situation. I just did when he was the manager because I don't think he will appease the fan base, though. Yes, he'll be more organised, but tactically flexible, and well, I think that's a lot of what everyone wanted, Danny. I think that's a lot. I know where you're coming from. That's where I think a lot of people wanted change. I can see a question from Gary. So, do we sell Son, Richie, and Solomon? Keep Tell. Would get Eze or it's a great. Go on, Ben. You go first.
I don't think Eze blocks or Mbermo block Mikey Moore. How old is Mikey Moore? 18?
Mikey Moore will be 18 on August 1st.
He's not going to be ready for 3 years, is he? We can't judge the now on a player that's not going to be ready for 3 years. And Burmo's 24, right? So he's going to be 27. We need squad depth. We can't do our entire as much as I think Mikey Moore.
Stop this! Stop! I've got. Thank you to Kudos, David Ornstein. 1 minute ago.
Yeah.
Tottenham have made contact with Brentford as Thomas Frank appointment near completion. Hope to have the deal agreed within the next 48 hours. Terms in place with the 51-year-old Dane. Healthy relations. There's one. Healthy relations.
Bingo.
Healthy relation between clubs for talks over £10 million release plus Brentford staff. So it looks like his staff are coming with.
Yeah, good.
And it looks this is edging even closer with his staff. So Tottenham hope to get the deal done in the next foot. I still think there's a shout today, but it looks like it's gone from, this is going to happen to the staff are now agreed. 10 million fee. I am so excited. I am so excited.
In regards to that question now, Aki, I would keep Solomon for another year. And if he's not good enough, I would sell him the year after because he had a really good spell at Leeds. Of course, if Leeds come in with a big offer for him to try and buy him and keep him for next season, I'm willing to let him go. Richarlison has to go. And if we get a good offer for Sonny, we have to consider it because he's got 1 year left on his deal. He's 32. It's time for a new shape up. But I don't think bringing in Mbermo and an Eze is going to stop the development in Mikey Moore. I think he's a very talented player, but we're not going to see him for another 3 years be fully developed. I'd send him out on loan to the Championship unless Frank really thinks he can make him a player in, of course, the League Cup and the FA Cup, because he's not going to get a chance to blood him in Europe because we're playing in the Champions League this year. We need him. We need some proper players in.
I will say, see this thing. I think Manor Solomon's gone. I think Manor Solomon is gone, and not because I just think he loved his time at Leeds so much, and he knows he's guaranteed first team football. I think you see Solomon go. Do I think Frank could do well with him? Yes, I do, but I think he's going to be one of the casualties. I think it was around 20 million, which ain't bad profit for zero, which will go towards hopefully the window we want. I see Solomon going. I'm also hoping that now Frank comes in, we say no to Tell, and he says no, but I want that 35 or whatever million it was going to be, 4 players for myself, and that's still rightfully said. That's still rightfully said. If we sign Thomas Tell, it just shows again that it wasn't Ange necessarily that wanted him. It's another club signing. It's another club signing. I think we need to get we need to get no, it's not, mate. We did a poll in our group. I'm being known as Brian Frank. It was either be Thomas Day, Frank. I will become Brian Frank. My name will change on YouTube to Brian Frank. I cannot wait. I hope. I mean, I don't know how other people feel. I think Matthias Tell.
The things you do for love, Nick. The things you do for love.
We shall see, but it looks like Frank is it's all good. And then, like I said, it all turns round on, does the man get backed? And then once this is done, it's all over to the board. Mate, honestly, it could. I asked the question. I don't think anyone answered, so I'm guessing it means there was no one. I can't remember a manager that comes over and takes one of their star players with them. They normally say you can't touch us for a year or whatever.
And Burmo's going anyway, so they might as well.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I can't remember. Gary Officer, I'd rather not be called that. Francoholic, I'll take. A Francophile, not so much. I'll go on the edge. Yeah, I'll stand with Francoholic.
We got Rob Welshbear. Thank you to Rob and, of course, to Swifty for the super chats. It really helps out Tottenham on tour a lot. He said, "Dear Mr. Frank, bring Viserys quality." I think Viserys is great as well. I don't want to gut the Brentford team because I've got a lot of respect for Brentford and I don't want to do what other teams have done to them. But absolutely, Viserys a great player. I'll take him Burmo though.
Do you know? Seeing that we're talking about them, let me just do something. I'm just to put. I stumbled across this. I might have put it in the community post, but I'm going to put it here. We're talking about Wissa and Buemo and their front line. Do remember as well, their front line that lost Tony and everyone thought they're going to be screwed.
They score like 50 more goals than us.
No, not 51. Their front three scored 50 goals, over 50 goals. And that's before assist and everything, with an attack that had just lost their star. I've just put there'll be a link that I've just put in the chat. This is James Alcott doing a breakdown for the Premier League on just how effective Thomas Frank's attacking. At one point last season, they were the most ruthless XG converters, like the most ruthless attack.
Ryan Daigle was becoming an XG hipster.
No. What I'm saying is, I'll never become that. But he was showing.
Start wearing his cap like that.
Mate, I've got to start wearing a cap, mate. But what it shows how ruthless Brentford were in the chances they created, and he shows a lot of the way that he wants his attacks to play. And Wissa and obviously Wissa and Buemo are there. But it shows the runs he gets players making, how quickly he gets them to move. He is. It's honestly, people need to watch. Go honestly, like I said, if you doubt Frank, you love Frank, or you want to know more about Frank, go onto our community section on Tottenham Tour. I think it's called Posts now, isn't it? And there is a place where I've put 5-6 links. Just give them a watch. They are really, really worth a watch. I watched that on Friday, mate. Do you know what? One thing you got to love when we keep talking about algorithms is when I go onto YouTube and refresh now, it's just Thomas Frank. So I'm getting all new things from Thomas Frank, and I am watching it all. Mate, I didn't need converting when it came to Thomas Frank. I didn't need converting. I was preaching for the converted. I'm the converter. Dear. Thomas. You really, what I will say is go back and watch. I have never ever turned on a manager apart from when I turned on Ange, and that was January this year. And after the Europa League, I actually wanted to stay and apologise for it. So when you're gonna, if you do want to come in, if you do want to try and be the big guy, and when you do want to try and act clever, at least get your information right to stand the chance with it. Moving on.
Great stuff. We have Kudos with a $2 Australian super chat. Cheers, buddy. Call the post-match shows, frank conversations, or being frank.
To be frank, well, mate, there's going to be lots of, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of Thomas Frank shows. I'm going to have to see how we could do time wise for doing a version of Anger Management and bring that back. So I did love that show. Loved that show. Yeah. Obviously, with my health issues, then time and whatever, we stopped it. But we will do something. There will be the show with me and Eugene once a month, talking about.
I think this will happen as well.
I think it's pretty much better. Yeah, I think that's it'll be a good move because normally Brentford promote within. We had Thomas Frank was Dean Smith's assistant before he went to Villa. But obviously, if Frank is bringing his team, so yeah. Well, what's Josh said?
We have Josh saying, do we think we'll have a solid window or just more of the same? We have to know. We have to know.
Daddy Kiriakou. I know. This is the thing. What do you? What do you call a solid window? Is it we had before the when we said Eze and Paulinho? That's not just a solid window. That's a absolutely tremendous goddamn window. So see this. I think he ends up at Leeds or Forest. Ben has made me think he could be Forest if Nuno goes.
That not very silly. I don't want to disrespect Ange. He will take them down. If he plays the way he does, he will take them down.
You never know. Do you know what the thing is? And I hate to say this because one thing I think will show just how good Thomas Frank is if they don't replace this right and they don't have a solid window, I think Brentford go down. And if Brentford go down, it will just show how good Thomas Frank was in getting them top 10 finishes, keeping them up. I'm hoping. What I will say to Josh's thing with a strong window is with all these changes on the board. Let's see if these changes on the board, and they've said right now, the transfer strategy and approach we had, it's not happening anymore. Obviously, the prick at the top will have the overriding, but hopefully now he hasn't got Cullen and Collicott's go, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir. So hopefully, Romano's just right. 1 second. What's Romano tweeted?
We got to say thank you to A User because he sent a couple of super chats in.
Oh, so fantastic.
Thank you to A User for sending in a couple of super chats saying odds for Frank staying. I'm gonna make you proud. Big up. He's gonna make we proud. And secondly, A User has said a solid window or a pane in the glass. I like it. Thank you so much, A User, for the £4 worth of super chats. If you wish to support Tottenham on tour, we're trying to do a lot more content, but of course, I've got a coffee shop to run. Brian has got loads of stuff to do. If you want to support Tottenham on tour, a super chat or becoming a member really helps us out a lot, and hopefully we can start getting some member shows going if we get a bit of time. We've been a skeleton crew for the last year because loads of Mr. Ireland has been very busy. Mr. Roadman has been very busy. So we're trying to do as much as we possibly can, given the circumstances. If you wish to support us, you can always put in a donation. But there's been a... Let's see. What's Fabrizio Romano?
There's going to be one development with us and one that could... He's tweeted 2 things. One is Spurs related. One is Manchester United related. But it could open the door for something. So the Tottenham one, Romano tweeted 4 minutes ago. Thomas Frank and Spurs, matter of short time and formal steps. Then he will sign in as head coach. I think it's done. But the other one, now this I'm just throwing let's start some conspiracy theories. Manchester United have just tweeted that Eriksen has been released by Tottenham by Manchester United. Could there be a reunion with Tottenham and Frank on a free? I personally wouldn't. But you know those rumours are going to start 2 and 2. It's just whether they equal 4 or 5. But Thomas Frank, I think we can all say right now, is Tottenham Hotspur manager.
It's very, very close, isn't it? And Ashley wants to come on. Send a message to Brian, and we might be able to make it happen. We have Josh with a £5 super chat as well. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you. Saying here's a donation about the same size as Levy's transfer budget. Brilliant stuff, Josh. Thank you so much. Big up to everyone that has supported the show so far. It really helps us out. Bring the old man home. I would be very interested in bringing Eriksen as a coach. I would be very interested to have him on the coaching team. I don't want to see him playing anymore because his insurance for his heart and his stent is a lot of money. I don't want to see Eriksen be playing. I'd be very interested to see him becoming a coach at Spurs, though. I doubt it, but
you never know. Listen, this is it's all. The only reason I saw it is like literally they were 1-on-1, and obviously you're going to start thinking Eriksen could be brilliant for Donnelly. I mean, you'll see. I personally wouldn't. I personally wouldn't bring him back. I wasn't happy with the way he down tools. I loved Eriksen when we signed him. Yeah, do you know what? We just got one in from Petrozzi. I'll take this first. Petrozzi, what you got to remember is even the biggest managers in the world, before they became proven winners, they were where Frank is. Frank should have, let's be serious, I will say it, Frank should have won something at Bromby. He should have done better at Bromby. He didn't. He was a younger manager then. When you're at Brentford, what do we really expect him to win? It's a real gem. I mean, yes, he could probably say, do you know what? We'll really try and get as far as we can in the cups. His remit at Brentford was first and foremost keep us in the Premier League, which he did above and beyond, and then try and get through the cups. He's not been in a position to challenge seriously for anything at Brentford. When he walked through the door at Tottenham, the expectancy levels go up immediately. And I will say as well, there's loads of fans obviously going, oh, he won't get us back into the top 4. Zinedine Zidane could come here and won't get us back into the top 4. We are so far behind. Yeah. We need some serious investment and some serious quality to get there. But should Thomas Frank get us back in the top 8, top 7, hopefully higher, that's my, whoever came in this season, whether it be even Ange, my expectation was for the season was finish in the top 8, get out of the group stages or the league, whatever you want to call it, in the Champions League, win the FA Cup, and if there is something that you need to be a bit skeleton, the Carabao Cup. People, we got to stop thinking that we can get back into the top 4 this season because it's too wild for me of an expectation.
But thank you so much, Petrosi, for the £2 super chat and to everyone for sending in a donation. It really helps us out a lot. We had a question from Rinketic.
Big up.
It's going to bring Rinketic back because he loves his Scandinavian players because, of course, he's based in Scandinavia. Frank likes 2-striker formation or a 3-striker formation. Would Frank buy another striker for Spurs? We've got 3 strikers at the moment, but I see Richarlison leaving. I believe finally Brennan Johnson will be converted to a striker because that's where I think Brennan Johnson is at his best in the 6-yard box. I think we need another striker anyway to what's it called? To compete with Solanke and offer something different. I think we need more of a target man. I don't see Solanke as a target man. I see him more as a fox in the box.
Yep.
I would like to see us bring in more of a target man type player, and I think that would be good for us. What do you think, Aki?
I think Brennan Johnson. Like I said, I think Brennan Johnson. You're going to see a different, more ruthless, more direct player. Excuse me, from him, like he was at Forest. I think the most important thing to get is a right winger, and that is an Mbeumo, or that is. So I can see him doing that. I think you see a different Solanke as well. Solanke will finally start getting some service again. If you watch his videos, the way that they try and service the striker, it's going to be a completely different game of football. And like Terry just said, we're talking about players you can develop. We didn't even mention Wall Lancashire.
Yep.
Didn't even mention Wall Lancashire. There were rumours, Colin, about João Pedro. Do you know what? I didn't realise he's only 23.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that he's only 23 years old. I will say with people, we won't bring guests on today, but once this happens, I'm going to be a lot more active. And I will, once Frank is signed, sealed and delivered, what I will do, can't guarantee a time, but let's say it happens today, tomorrow, or Wednesday, either the night of or the day after, I will do a Tottenham on Tour fan show all about Frank's appointment, where anyone and everyone can come on. But yeah, I think this is that's the thing. That is the thing that Howland just said as well. You've also got the option of moving Porro forward, and then you've got Spence there. You've still got Kulusevski when he does come back. I think the most important thing, if it's not on Mbeumo, the first thing, and Frank always plays with one, he will get a number 6. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't take Tell, Joshua. I wouldn't take Tell, but I would love for us to get Paulinho. If we got, do you know what? If we brought in a number 6 immediately, a lot of fans are going to be very happy, because whether Ange had stayed or not, whoever came in, it was fairly obvious we needed some steel in midfield. It's also when he plays a 3. I think, do you know what? I think a huge beneficiary for Thomas Frank is going to be the fitness of Mickey van der Ven.
Yeah.
Because he won't be playing so high. Yes, his pace is the biggest blessing and asset we have defensively and everything. It will be more pragmatic. You're going to see him not having to do so many recovery sprints. Honestly, I just need this to be announced now, because I am so pumped for him. I am so pumped for the Frank Revolution.
If you can't get Paulinho, though, Sander Berg is my guy, I think. I think Sander Berg is really, really underrated. And I think he'll calm things down. He's solid. That's the guy I would like to have. Sander Berg is great. Again, we can't go for... I know he's got an Arsenal tattoo, just to say it again. Hillman as an Arsenal. Hillman's a very good footballer as well. I don't think we'll be able to get Hillman. I think but that's the sort of player we need. Someone that's going to sit there, anchor that midfield, allow Mickey van der Ven and Romero, or whoever the centre-backs are, to maraud up the field with the ball, but still have that bit of protection at the back. I'd love to see... And you know this is my other half when she says, can't wait to see the back of inverted fullbacks. That's it. That's all I can say. She's learned well. I can't wait. The end of inverted fullbacks. But there are so many people. I mean, Colin Crossamano's just mentioned, obviously, the Grealish. The Grealish? What am I doing? Giving you like Lord Grealish. The Grealish. He's an interesting one. He would have been brilliant for Ange. He would have been. He's a great player on his day. Again, it would have been one that we should have got him when we could have. He would definitely be that player we needed, that edgy of your seat player. But I like a few people were saying, like a lot of people would love to see a Paulinho, who he should have gone for before he left Fulham. Obviously, dealing with Bayern Munich as a rival might have been hard to get over the line. But you look at it, Paulinho, who hardly played a game, if we were interested, speaks English, knows London. Thomas, you can keep doing this. You can keep saying it. Keep coming back and watch that it doesn't happen. And again, it just goes to show you don't listen. Because as I said, in 45, almost 46 years of supporting Spurs, I stupidly turned on Ange because I always said I'll never turn on Ange. That's how bad things got and how mad I was getting with Levy. Never, ever turned on a manager. So
thank you for engaging with us and keeping us going. But like I said, Thomas, do better, mate. Do better. Go do your research.
Yeah. We'll have to see. But some people saying Sanderberg is too old because he's 27, 28. I think we can get him cheaply. I think he'll be a cheap player that would really improve the team. And, of course, Major Bomber, in your favourite words.
With this, I'll accept it. Do you know what? With Thomas Frank, I'm going to bloody well accept it. I think, like I said, I think he's wrapped up today. What time is it back home now? 3:17. Okay.
Past 3.
So yes.
3.
So yeah, there is an opportunity. I mean, Spurs announced it around 5 p.m. your time.
Yeah.
Yes. So you never know. You never know. It's honestly, let's do it. Let's do it. I just want to have a here you go. Oh, here you go. Here we go. There you go. I'm with George. With George.
Just sent that to me. Perchy's just sent that to me.
There you go. There you go.
Big up,
I have to say, big up Reese. I haven't seen Reese in the chat for ages, so big up to him.
We're both clicking on it at the same time.
You do it.
There we go. Rico!
All good. All good. Yeah, there's been talk of Bakayoko. Let's have a look. There's 173 in. Do you reckon, just yes or no? Frank announced today, yes or no?
Yes. Give us a yes or no.
Yes
answer.
or no. Just simply yes or no. I'm really hoping it is. I'm really hoping it is. God, Jadon Sancho. Would you take Jadon Sancho?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yes. Yeah, good to see you, George. I've not spoken to you since I was on We Are Tottenham.
George, top man. Top
good
man.
To see you, George. Yes.
So a lot more yeses than no.
No. Yes, he's in today. Not today. Anthony, go on, lad. Go to Daddy Eric. Big up, KG. Hopefully he'll well. How much money do you think they will give Frank? I'm not sure, to be honest. Yes. No, unfortunately, in the morning tomorrow.
Okay.
Won't drag on past tomorrow, that's for sure. No. Put an offer in for Balaba's a good player. Belieber's a good player.
He would be I'd be all over that.
Yes, tonight.
I'd be all over that.
Go to Sancho. I agree with you. Suleimana, yes. High praise indeed, George. We always have a good chat. Tomorrow morning, I don't want to. Madueke, absolutely not as well.
No, do you know what? I love Madueke. He didn't look good for England. I think he's a very, very direct player that, again, Frank could develop. I think there is something there with him, but I think we can get better. And you've got to remember, there's also...
I think that's the end of the Jack Grealish rumours.
When you talk Madueke, what you got to remember as well, and we all know this, we need homegrown and club-trained players. He is one. Yeah. So we shall see. Yeah, Ashish, what they're doing at the moment from the news that's been breaking is apparently the staff have been agreed now. Frank apparently was agreed yesterday. It was down to now getting the staff. The staff hasn't been announced if it's just coaching and scouting or medical, but praise God. Please, God, let it be goddamn medical. Please. Listen,
I don't think this is happening now. I think Frank doesn't like players like Jack Grealish because they're not pacey. He likes pacey players on his wings, and Grealish certainly is not that. I do like Jack Grealish, but I think he will go more on players like Eberechi Eze, Madueke. I'm not even...
I think there's a player there. But I understand he's one of those Marmites, isn't he? He's one of those Marmite players, in all honesty.
Someone has already made the thing. I think this is... choo-choo!
I mean, that's been going around. Wait till... Once we get the Here We Go, I've been working on things for it. I'm going on the... People remember the tune Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Well, I'm working on the Frankie Goes to Tottenham. I've got a few things lined up.
Matoma's a good one.
All day long. This is the thing.
Someone me and Philly love. Big up, Philly. Kubo from Real Sociedad. I think Kubo is quality.
Mate,
I'd love to have a player like Kubo.
There's another player I'd love right now, and he said he wants to go, and he wants to go. I'll take Kudus from West Ham.
Kudos is quality as well. Kudos is a quality player.
But then this is the thing. Well, the way we're talking as well. Again, we have got to realise. Let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, Kudus there. I think we are going to need to wait and see. And I've got. Do you know what? I'm going to sacrifice something because I've just seen Tom. We might have to change the DWO to the FWO.
No, we don't.
Or we may need to get a sister branch.
I would bring back Gianni Vio. I'd bring back Gianni Vio, but that's not going to happen.
Frank brings his own stuff, and he's bringing it. I don't think you're bringing a. So we'll see. Do you know what? See, we're talking like we're big money, but Alan has mentioned it, and a few people mentioned. I am a big fan of Braithwaite. I am a big fan of Braithwaite. Braithwaite, I think I saw someone in the chat said earlier that Everton are interested in a few of our players. Who knows? You could use Richarlison as a make weight in the Braithwaite fee. We've done it with Maddison and Skip. We've done it with Højbjerg and Kyle Walker-Peters. Maybe there is something there with Everton. So there are exciting times ahead. Really exciting times ahead, and hopefully we can start making some ripples in the transfer market now. What's the date that it closes again for 2 weeks?
I'm not sure. Someone in the chat.
I just read that as Brian X Glover, but then I realised what it was.
I want to see. You need a black turtleneck, those like bottom glasses. You know, the glasses that are small at the bottom, a beret. And one of those like really long cigarettes on the long of a thing. You can be full-blown hipster Daigle. No,
I'm thinking I might try and grow my hair like Thomas Frank now. It'll take about. He'll probably get sacked before we do that. But I think honestly, I just cannot wait for it to get started. I cannot wait. The big thing he's got to do, obviously, that what we can't rule out already is obviously. One of his biggest jobs is getting into that training ground and calming the players down from the Ange, the way they're feeling. He's going to have a lot of he's walking into a changing room where there is a lot of disgruntled players by saying, obviously they're contracted to Spurs and they've got to do their job. But I think Frank wins them over. And do you know what? We've just got a super chat from someone who is fast becoming a very, very dear friend of mine. Never met him, never seen him. But he's been on the late night shows.
I'd love Jared Bowen, but if he goes to Spurs, his father-in-law is going to knock him out.
I have to say, this guy who has been all over We Are Tottenham TV late shows. Where are you, Moose City? Are you on North America side, or are you back home, or is it home England? Who's been brilliant? Oh, it's $5. So look at me. It's America or Canada, but Frank Agrico, I'm super excited to see what he can do with this squad. I expect big time.
Absolutely.
Big time. I think, do you know what? The ones I think are going to come on the strongest this season are those two and Porro.
Indeed. I agree.
I think, who are people thinking? If you had to mention 3 players you think Frank is going to be able to work well or literally make them a lot more developed than this season, who are the 3? I might need to put Bergvall and Sarr. Bergvall and Sarr are, mate, honestly, the list is shortless, but let's see what 3 people. He's in the USA. Wicked is in. He's on the same
New York City, I believe. But thank you so much, Moose. Thank you so much, Moose.
I hope you subscribe to the channel, buddy. There's going to be a lot more, and I'm going to be doing a lot more night stuff like We Are Tottenham TV have done recently for our North American side of things. Danny Dyer would go nuts if we brought him over. There's a lot of people saying Bergvall. There's a lot of people saying Bergvall.
Oh, bloody hell. My chat is going very, very quickly. Bergvall. I think Bergvall could become a serious player under Thomas Frank. John is saying Levy will not back. You don't know. He gave loads and loads of money to Andrew. I think he will do similar.
Go back to John George's comment. I will say, listen, everyone, especially myself, knows the drill with how Levy has acted, how he's left managers short time after time after time. Is it a problem? Is it a thing that you've always got in the back of your head? Abso-fucking-bloody-lutely.
Of course.
What he's going to have to spend compared to what he's had at Brentford is night and day. Whether we think it's enough or not, it's going to be night and day. And one of the greatest things he has done throughout his career is find players at a low level and develop them. He is finding stars and turning them into much better players that are wanted by big teams. I understand the Daniel Levy issue in this. I honestly understand all of it. But people are putting all this heat on Thomas Frank incoming when the pressure should be Levy. It should be Daniel Levy. And whether Thomas Frank comes in, what happens if Thomas Frank does come in and get some Buemo? You can't say he's been left short. That means now, if you bring in Buemo, that doesn't mean then go buy 6-7 cheap players. That's the standard you're setting. Bring in some quality players. And if Frank sees or his talent scouting network sees one, bring them in. Bring them in. The Daniel Levy thing will never go away. And believe me, if he's not back, I will be on him like I always am. But I can't see why people are saying they're dismissing what Frank does.
Yeah.
They're dismissing it. Big up Moose City.
Big up to Moose for another $10 super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. It really helps us as a small business and, of course, a small channel up. Yep. And the other question I wanted to ask you was, do you think we would loan some youngsters to West Bromwich Albion with Mason? I think so. I think so. And I think there will be players. I expect Will Lancashire to go back on loan there. I think he will do very well there. There's a few players. That will do really, really well there. I've got so many comments. So
yeah, but I've just got to say on that one as well, Moose City. A lot of people are forgetting that Birmingham's an option as well now with Chris Davis there, who did absolutely brilliant in the League One to get them up to the Premiership, Championship. That's another. There's 2 Spurs managers in the Championship this season that know our youth academy, know the youngsters that have been around the first team insanely well. Just like Leyton Orient did with Donnelly and Keeley, they've got people there that will be able to say, do you know what, you go there, they are going to develop you. They do know how to get the best out of you. They do know and have the Spurs players' best interest at heart. So I think you can't rule out Birmingham as well.
You just don't know. We've got Anna Rags in the house. Good to see you, buddy. If you can keep for 7 years, surely you have an eye for. Absolutely, I totally agree with you.
Exactly that, Paige.
Totally
exactly
agree.
that.
Spurs helping our rivals. Sorry. We have Fenners. I've not seen you in a while, Fenners. Hopefully you're well, buddy. Hopefully you're well. Saying big up. Hope Frank will make Lancashire a star. I hope so as well, buddy. But thank you so much for the £2 super chat. We've got Jens in. Haven't seen you in a while, Jens. Good to see you, Jens. Hopefully everything's okay.
I will say Connor's brought one up. I think Lancashire does go out on loan again. I do.
Yes, I believe so.
I mean, with West Brom, it could be go back, a different manager. I don't know. I think he may be one-eyed for Birmingham. But do you know what? Will Lancashire, I think, could do well any Championship team. We're all saying West Brom and Birmingham because of the connection. But I think he will go out on loan again. I think he will.
Good to see you, Steve D, sir. Hopefully you're well. Just when Conte was starting to disappear out of the chat, we've now got to look forward to Ange being constantly mentioned. Club always comes first. All aboard. Correct. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Steve D, mate. Hopefully you're well. And hopefully this season, and of course, because I'm good mates with Nick, hopefully this year you will have on your Christmas tree that's blocking the 2 doors. Hopefully there's a picture of Thomas Frank, because that's what he's going to do. He's going to block the doors of the defence. We're not conceding a lot. I don't think
you got to remember as well, we could the goals we conceded last season. Yes, you can blame injuries. Yes, there's no doubt about it. But we've defensively looked shambolic because we haven't had the 6 to protect them. We haven't had a regular midfield or been able to keep a regular back 4. I think now those kind of things change. I think we become a lot more tighter at the back. I really, really do. I believe I'll probably make an appearance at some point on We Are Tottenham TV today or later on in the evening. Who knows? But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what goes on. But it's exciting times. And one thing I will say again is, and I will credit Tottenham Hotspur here. And if a slice of this needs to go Levy, then fair play. Thank God Spurs have acted quickly with this. Thank God Spurs have gone and got their man. Obviously, they got to agree the compensation. We didn't have another Nuno gate or waiting in the wings and everyone turning down and then going for Slot or Nagelsmann. It looks like we had a number 1 target, and it looks like we got him spot on, and we haven't messed about with it. So, well done to all concerned. Oh, Mo City again with another super chat.
Another super chat, Moosey. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. I was behind Ange after he won the trophy, but I can't lie. I'm over the moon to get Frank. He gives me Poch vibes. I think he will build an amazing team. I think he will build a team in his own image, and I think he will bring people together. I think he's a very sensible, humble, but still quite charismatic. He's very charismatic when he wants to be. He gets amongst it. He is constantly involved. He's constantly involved with whatever happens. And I really am looking forward to seeing what he does with this team. But thank you so much, Moose, for another super chat. It really helps us all out a lot.
Do you know what? Did you put the poll up about Frank?
No, I didn't.
Okay, just because the good thing I have seen, it's not just from my videos. Obviously, once the Frank rumours start coming up, we'll deal with that in a second. We'll deal with Danny's. There are a lot of people that were people like myself who've just been delighted and have wanted him for ages, and see the coach, because a lot of people said we need a better coach. Someone that can coach these players will get us up the league. All season we heard that, and then we get a coach, and then people are like, well, yeah, we'll see what. There's been a lot. I've seen a lot of goalposts moving with him, but I think when I have been viewing streams, I've seen in the chat that a lot of people have gone from, do you know what, I was really against it or didn't know much about him. But after watching various things on him, I'm starting to see that he's going to be very, very good for Tottenham. And that's what it is. People need to watch his things. I think he might go. I think the
rumor is going to Fenerbahce. Is what
I think he could be gone. But where was Danny's question? Brian, who do you think won't suit pragmatic style of football? And from the Brentford fan of on WRT, he said that Franchi with a bit of balance with attacking. Yeah, listen, I've watched a lot of him. You've got to remember at the start of this season or before Christmas, they were the highest goal scorers. They had the best home record in the Premier League. There are going to be casualties. There are going to be a few casualties. And when we look at it, I think the defence is fine for him, unless Romero goes. I think we need a left back. Midfield is where I see some issues with some players. The amount we've got, because I think a lot of them are very, very similar. And we need some variation in that midfield, and number 6 being one of them. I think Bentancur or Basuma will go, but there's been rumours for ages Bentancur is signing another contract. And I think we need to look at our wingers. I think we need to start looking for life without Sonny. And also, you've got to remember, Sonny playing with Solanke, if we do keep Sonny playing up top with Solanke, kind of like he did with Kane, if he has a final year with us, it could be a real swan song for him. Big up, Graham. Big up, Graham. Graham, are you happy with Thomas? You're on mute, brother. I hope you're happy with Thomas Frank. But people need to watch the brand of football that he's been playing. Because he plays, he is very, listen, the Brentford fan spoke on We on Tottenham TV, and he plays very, very pragmatic. I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that.
It's got loads of goals, though.
Exactly. Again, that link I put on the chat on how he plays attacking wise and the movement that he asks for his players. With the players we've got and the way he can develop them, I think he can do it.
Graham is happy. I don't think Graham's happy.
No, he's not happy. There you go. There we go. So, Graham, why aren't you happy?
We have a user though with a £3.50 super chat saying black Americano and a Bakewell tart, please. I will certainly get onto it. But thank you so much for another super chat. We've had loads of super chats today. Thank you to everyone for supporting the channel. We need to know why the Armour Graham is not happy.
Exactly. Like FC has just been saying, who walks into their game and their first game is against the current European champions or the Champions League champions, and he could win a trophy in his first game.
Yep.
We shall see. I mean, do you know what? Another thing you got to look at is, and you all look at that. We all look at this, and I think that a lot of stuff's going to happen. I think within the Spurs fan base when the fixture list comes out. If we have one of those starts where you're playing, let's say, three of the top five in the first 6 or 7 games, there's going to be like, oh my God, how's he going to do this? Can he do? There'll be talk when this fixture list comes out, which I believe is next week. For the fixture list, but I think I think he's going to turn a lot of heads. I think we are going to get a lot of people. The 18th of June. Thank you, FC. Thank you very much indeed.
I think Graham should manage Spurs big up.
Oh, do you know what? Graham would be great because then he'd have to have meetings with Levy, and I'd love to see how that would. I'd love to see how that pan out. I said Graham would bring me in as an assistant. That'd be wonderful boardroom meetings. That would be wonderful.
Tweaky's in the house with a 10-month membership. Big up, Tweaky. Hopefully you're well, buddy. Thank you so much. Hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your day. Big up, Tweaky, for the 10 months. We'll get Dean Brennan from Barnet, and Daniel will say we tried. Maybe.
Do you know the other thing we've got to look at as well is if Frank, let's say, after bringing in or at any point brings in a player and we haven't got a clue who he is, I will actually have great faith that he may not be ready right now. Like, obviously, he needs to develop him, but his talent ID or Brentford's his scouting network has been absolutely terrific for that football club. And now they're going to have a bigger catchment pool to play with. And I've just seen Psycho Fox in the building, one of my favourite people. Big up, Simon. There you go. Big up, this man, I love this man. He's such a great guy. I am just super pumped for this. I just want it done, confirmed. Yeah, this is the thing. FC, do you know what? I don't think you were here. When we said it. And it said there's over 213 people here, so big up. I can't remember Tajon Buchanan. Oh my God, I'd love Tajon. Oh,
he's at Inter though, isn't he? He's at Inter.
No, he's been sent out. I think he's out on loan somewhere. I'd love it. But where were we? We were just speaking about something with FC. Yeah, can you remember a manager? Obviously, Wemo is out the door anyway, but I can't remember. Graham's in the chat, so maybe Graham will know. I can't remember a team that have lost. Big up. I'm going to just call you 1961 because go 19. Or call him double winner. The energy is to be pumped now, but the energy, obviously, the Levy out stuff will always be a focal point, and this channel will always go for him when the point comes. But I'm Thomas Frank, as you can see. But I keep forgetting to get my point out to FC or question. Can you remember a player or a manager that has left a football club and taken and raided the other team? I can't remember a manager that's done it. I just simply can't. I don't not say it hasn't happened. I just can't see. Yeah, the difference, John George, from our wage bill. Actually, is he updated again? Let me just check the Romano. I got
Angus sending me that Arsenal are going to buy Mohamed Kudus now from West Ham. If Angus was in charge of Arsenal, they would have gone bankrupt by now. He thinks they're signing £90 million every week. What is happening,
he literally.
Angus?
Yeah, there's no update from. There's no update. Let me just refresh. I don't think there's an update from Romano from the one we were reporting
he
and
does. He wants
discussing.
to buy everyone. Whenever we say this is a player, we're like, oh, Arsenal are buying him. Arsenal are buying him. Arsenal are buying him. No, you're not, mate.
Exactly.
I love you, Angus,
may be.
mate.
I think, Angus. I think you may be falling for Arsenal transfer buzzword bingo.
He is.
He is the buzzword
bingo.
Yeah. Apparently, they're buying everyone. They won't. They'll have a 250-man squad. They'll have a 250-man squad.
They've got FFP issues and they've already spent 60 million this year on
Zubimendi.
They're signing everyone. This is going to be Angus.
We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway.
That's Angus's transfer strategy. That is Angus's transfer strategy.
It is, but it looks like. Listen, it looks like tomorrow. I think we might be doing another dual stream tomorrow, buddy, because tonight or tomorrow is going to happen. And good times.
Oh, I don't think that's true. But
I don't think that's
it's
done. I think it's signed, sealed, delivered. Christopher, this is it. Apparently, everything is done with the coaching staff as well. That's a big thing. When we hear the news that it's all signed, sealed, he is Spurs. Yeah. Just how many of his coaching team and backroom staff are coming with him? I will say, whatever happens, whoever Brentford getting as manager, I really hope he keeps them up. Because I think Brentford are a credit to the Premier League for how they operate, what they do within their community. I really, really hope Brentford stay up. Frank will get an amazing reception when he comes back. Can you imagine if his first game is away at Brentford?
Yeah, they're going to do it, aren't they? They're going to do it anyway.
Well, it was Ange Postecoglou's first game, wasn't it? It was Ange Postecoglou's first game. But we'll see. We'll see what the fixture list says. But I just hope I'm going to be excited to see how much of his backroom staff come with. And then we'll see if the Mbeumo deals all of his staff. Okay, so if it's all of his staff, then things get a little bit better.
Wells has left, though, hasn't
Matty Wells left. Matty Wells, I didn't know if he... So Matty Wells has gone. The only one I think that's available or stayed at the moment is Johan Lange.
I'm not sure. Let us know in the chat. Imagine if Frank relegates Brentford on his last day. That would be really sad. That would be really sad.
That would be, or somehow the fixture list happens that the team we're playing have to win or lose to keep Brentford up. You never. Football is a funny thing, but people, please start to get excited.
Matty Wells is still there, and Rob Birch. Okay, interesting.
Okay. Well,
let's see what happens, and let's see who his coaching staff is. McKenna from Ipswich to Brentford. That'd be a good signing for them.
Yep.
I would love it if he does all three of those. I'll give him a round of applause.
I'll tell you what, if that happens, not only are we really back in business, and my prediction of top 8 goes out the window and goes escalated, it will show that the board have had an impact. This reshuffle, it will show a different approach, and we'll have to see. But that would be. Could you imagine? Do you reckon? Go. I'm going to call you. Yeah, it's easiest to go. I've said with him because a lot of darts are throwing at the Frank board is he's never managed in Europe, so he is coming in and he's got 4 competitions to juggle. I think top 6.
But it's just come in now that Man United have just made an offer to Sporting Club de Portugal for Victor Gyökeres.
Mate, now could that be? Because they've got the cash available from Mbeumo. I know Man U are when it comes to it, they'll buy. But now Frank is nearly done. Obviously, now it's Gyökeres. Do you know what? I'm going to put I think we're in the race for Mbeumo. I really, really think we are in the race for Mbeumo. And if we do get Mbeumo, I hope a lot of people that haven't joined the Frankaholics, then join me and use this as our counselling sessions for
the next Postiga.
Oh mate, honestly, I think we've entered. I think there's serious weight behind the race from Mbeumo. No, but John Barnes, you're right. He has managed with Europe in Bromby, but he had to juggle three domestic competitions. That's the part. This is a different. Without disrespect to the Danish Premier League, I don't even know what they call it.
Good players from Denmark as well. There's some good players. Some really good players. Yeah, Postiga, he was awful. He was dreadful.
Oh mate, he was. But then when he scored for Portugal against England,
14 minutes. Let us know what your opinions are. Who do you think we're going to sign with Thomas Frank?
There is this. This is the thing. We can. So it's always we can spend it. Completely agree with John there. Completely agree. It's whether we do.
Let's see what you think.
We will see. We will see what more people think.
Soldado.
Mate, do you know what I just wish we'd got a strike partner for Soldado. I really do. Exactly. Christopher, you're right. You're right. It's all heating up. This could be the season. If I have a season where the manager I've wanted for ages comes in and the owner or chairman I've wanted out for 17 years goes out, I think I've completed life.
Question: what would be the minimum you think Frank needs to achieve this season? And good first, and it's going to sound really disheartening. We need to be back in the top 8. We have to be back in the top 8 and playing in Europe next season, whatever European competition, and a good cup run, because we're not going to win a trophy every single year. It's just not going to happen. We have to be back in the top 8. Yeah, minimum, but back in the top 8. We can't be in the bottom 10 next season, and the bottom 4. None of that. We can't be in the bottom 4 next year. We've just got to steady the ship. We have to steady the ship, and perhaps a good run in one of the cup competitions. I think the FA Cup is a good competition for us to have a good go. I don't think we will go that far. I think we can get to the quarters of the Champions League. I think we can get to the quarters, but I just don't see us with the firepower to get further than that. But we've got to be going for one of the domestic cups.
Like I said, my expectations for the season would have been the same if Andrew stayed. Would have been the same if Xavi had come in or another manager. I was looking at club-wise and how we operate. The top 4 that were the top 4 we saw last season are miles ahead of us in quality and depth, miles ahead of us, and they are already strengthening big time. Then you look at your Newcastle, your Villas and whatever. Villa are in a place where they may need to sell. So I'm not going to be one of these guys that say we need to be back in the top 4. We should be back in the top 4. I'm done with these silly predictions, in my opinion, of expecting too much. If we can get into the top 8, like I said, get out of the Champions League group stages, seriously challenge for the FA Cup and win it. But that cup is just so special to me. It will always be so important to me. And the Carabao Cup, what will be because juggling the 4 tournaments, if we have to go out one early, it would be that. But I think we've got to look at it the way the Premier League is right now and the way other teams are buying and strengthening and their squad. We've got to remember we finished 17th. Yes, injuries. Yes, this. Yes, that. I say that we aim for the top 8, and then we build. We build again. We'll be in another position of strength, and we build again.
Indeed. Let's see what else to say. We've gone a lot longer than we usually do. I'm already fading because I'm not used to streaming for more than 1 hour.
You're going for 2 hours. 2 hours. So we've got 10 more minutes.
I am a sprinter. I'm not a marathon runner. as of today, Matt Wells remains part of Tottenham's first team coaching staff. Will be active in his role. We'll see if he's.
Psycho, I would actually say. Sorry, let me just respond to that, Ben. I think once Frank's confirmed and he's bringing everything, then you might see Matt Wells relieved from his duties. But maybe not. But I think once we get the announcement that everything is done with his staff, there may be a change. Except that comment above just there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the chance before, so welcome, Sean. Exactly this. Exactly this. This is exactly what people do. He will use the players to his advantage. He will realise what the other teams do and adapt and pay respect to the opposition and choose the formation to navigate their main issues. It's just going to be very, very exciting times.
AGF as well. Ashley, great stream today. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, Ashley.
If you want us to have a longer stream once in a while, we'll try and do it. Of course,
when there's more news as well.
I've had no customers today because it's Monday.
That's because they're all Frankaholics and giving you the time of day.
Oh, I don't care. I don't want them to give me the time of day. I want them to buy some fucking coffees. I need some money. I need money.
This is a great comment as well. This is such a great comment. This is exactly it. I think what we've got to remember during the Poch days and the rise since Martin Jol, our expectation levels went up and up and up and up. And when we've had that chance to go for the title or the Champions League, and we've been in that major position, we've paid the price for not going that extra mile. And because of bad decisions since Poch has gone, we have tailed right back down. Spurs need to build back up again and get to where we could be to challenge regularly and consistently. And Thomas Frank is that man.
Yeah.
He is the guy.
This is someone I never thought of.
He's gone.
You reckon he's gone?
He's gone.
And of course, this man has been mentioned. We've got to play the old video clip, don't we?
Is he better than Brian Hill?
Is Brian Hill better than Brian Hill? I don't know if Brian Hill is better than Brian Hill, but yeah.
Is Brian Hill better than Brian Hill?
He needs to go back to Spain. He just, with every manager, I know Frank develops players.
Corona, did he? He didn't.
No, but he got a massive injury. He got a massive injury as well. I think the Brian Hill ship has sailed. Yeah, do you know what? I always wanted Eze over Maddison, but do you know what? The freedom, I think you see. Do you know what? When we're talking about players that will flourish under him, I completely forgot about Maddison. I think Maddison will be. You'll see that one of the things I didn't understand since we've had him is he used to take so many long-range shots at Leicester. He used to find himself in pocket of spaces and used to create. I think you see that version of Maddison. I really do. I think he's another player that can really. Mate, there's just so much to be excited about. Really is.
I think so as well.
Really is.
We have 7 minutes to go, everyone. Let us know who you want. Look how Frank has improved tackles at Brentford. Dom, Tell, Odegaard, Johnson could be leveling up big time. I agree.
Luke, I don't think Tell will be here.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I'd like Eze and Burmo, Hincapié, Edison, Walker-Peters for homegrown issues. Out. Romero wants and Basuma. Davis has got a new contract. Hill and Veliz. I don't think Ben Davis is going anyway.
Ben, bring it up. Psycho Chat's comment. What I will say, I mean, if that was the window for the incomings, bloody hell, that is a sensational window. Davies, I'm hearing a lot of things that he signed a contract so we can get some money for him. I don't think because Davies has signed, it means he's staying. I think this could be so we get some value out of him. Hill and Veliz, I think are out. But if that incoming happens, my God.
Good to see you, Rich. Well, my brother is just saying, I have arrived. I will be the Spurs manager. No one wants you. No one wants you as the Spurs manager, Will. I would like Visser. Visser is good. El Del Cocorel. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Saying, is there any sport on ITV? I'm not sure. I'm
Well,
not
no,
sure.
I think the reason he's doing that is I asked on Saturday what channel was the England game on because
Yes,
I
I
used
know,
my
and you said
IPTV.
Channel 4.
Yeah, and then I put
4.
channel 4 on like 15 minutes. It was adverts. I was like, what is this? And then I checked on my IPTV. It was like, I was like, right, channel 3. Oh, I've just seen the Nacho Slayer is in.
The Nacho Slayer is in the
The
house.
Nacho Slayer is in the building. Big up to you.
Francolino, Quisgarden, and Burmo, Sindre, Wallen, Igeli, and Hulmand. Interesting.
I know one player on that list, and that was Mbuema.
I know Hulmand. Hulmand's a very good player. Eze Baliba, Semenyo, Lewis Potter, and Joao Pedro for me. Udogi and Porro as potential wing backs. Kermit,
Correct.
Miss Piggy, Bert, Ernie, doesn't matter which Muppets it is, with the big leafy Muppet in charge. Or Klinsmann.
We go.
I like that.
I love the random drop of Jurgen Klinsmann on there.
Yes.
Good luck to Wales tonight. Who else playing tonight?
The mighty Wales are on tonight. Big up. Visser had 19 goals and 4 assists in the league last season. He's a very good player.
Great return. He's brought them on no end.
Give Everton Basuma and Richie for Branthwaite.
Would people take that? I would. Take Richarlison and Basuma. Not saying they'd cover the full price tag, but to get Branthwaite in return, I would do that 100%.
Will was saying, I'd like that City bloke with the saggy socks from City. He obviously means Jack Grealish. I've never heard him, the City bloke with the saggy socks. We had a manager who beat Prime Pep and Klopp when the best team in Europe, and they were still, after we beat them, we could try for the Super Cup. Maybe. I'll
tell you one thing. Thomas Frank's record against the Big Six
is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not too shabby at all, which is a massive problem we had last season. Massive problem.
I don't think we're getting Rafael Leao. I think he's quality. I think he'll go to a bigger club than Milan. Personally, I think Bert and Honey would be a good centre-back partnership. I'm swapping a winner for a 5 out of 10 bum. What a waste. I'm so disappointed.
Listen, people... I get the anger. I honestly don't know TS where he's from, who he's or whatever, but obviously a lot of people are still angry with Ange going, which I can totally understand. He gave me a trophy that I'd never seen in my life. I was 4 when we won it last time, and he did to get that over the line. But again, I think a lot of people are taking their anger out on Frank and not looking into Frank and the coaching and what he can do. I think it could have been any manager, and people would be saying this. So I understand your frustration, TS. Frank definitely is not a 5 out of 10 bum. I can understand you being disappointed with Ange going and not, but wait and see.
As much as we're sorry to see, Ange was a 1 out of 10 bum for 19 months, and then he won us a trophy and became a god. It's very, very difficult.
I wouldn't go 1 out of 10, but
we were 17th, Fucky. We got 77 points out of 66 games.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Disgusting.
Listen, I get that. I get all that points, but then again,
Ange's a hero. Ange's a hero now, so who cares?
When you look at it, then Levy should have sacked him. But he didn't. He stuck with him when we won the tournament. Listen, Ange's gone. I'm not getting back into the whole. He's gone. There's no point.
Thanks for the memories, and now it's time for the new era.
I just wish people would stop taking their Ange frustration out on Thomas Frank and direct it where it always should be at Daniel Levy. That's where all this should be at. This is where all that should be at. But on that note, let's wrap up the 2 hours. You got double the Tottenham on tour and Kauffie Company stream to all of us. I think we'll do a dual stream tomorrow because there could be news during the day, couldn't there?
Possibly. If we've got the time, we'll do it.
We'll do the duel tomorrow. We'll do a duel tomorrow. All I will say is thank you to everyone that watched, everyone that gave super chats, the new people we've seen in the chat. Hope you like and subscribe to both the Kauffie Company and obviously Tottenham on tour. I am going to add something to my way I end it, which is, and as always, Levy out. And welcome to the Frankaholic Centre for Rehab for the love of Thomas Frank. Choo choo, all aboard. And as always, leave you out.
And thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to everyone for the super chats as well. It really helps us out a lot. We will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m, the usual time of the Kauffie Company and, of course, Tottenham on tour. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, if you should know what the cough is brewing, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Ciao for now.
Tour.